Ladies and gentlemen, the travel season during the holiday has been damn near destroyed by one, the pandemic, two, staffing shortages, and three, thousands of cancellations for 2 weeks in a row. That is a lot of cancellation. So they said this holiday season was terrible. Mm-mm-mm. So, of course, when they started the Christmas to New Year travel season, they were very optimistic coming into the holidays because, after all, they flew during Thanksgiving and really didn't have that many issues during that time. But when they hit the Christmas holiday, everything changed. Oh, my crayon showed up on the scene. And JetBlue and other airlines were inundated with all kinds of problems. Daily sick calls had quadrupled on December 21st. There were all kinds of cancellations, all kinds. So many of them were scrambling to replace a lot of the staff that was sick, and some airlines just couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. So they have exhausted everything to replace staff. Some of the pilots were sick. And they said this season, airlines are struggling through one of the most severe and persistent mass cancellation events of the past decade. This is according to data compiled by Flight Aware. Mm-mm-mm. So, sickness was surging among employees for carriers, and they just could not manage the travel season with less people working. They couldn't do it. Now the carriers are assessing how to better manage what could continue to be a difficult period, at least for the next few weeks. Airlines have canceled more than 1,000 daily US flights for 13 straight days, including over 2,500 this past Friday. And another winter storm brought snow to Boston and New York. Flights scrubbed from the Christmas Eve through January 6th exceeded roughly 24,000%. The number of flights, I'm sorry, not 24, that's 7%, exceeded 24,000. Roughly 7% of the number of airlines had planned to fly, according to the flight tracking service Flight Aware. So they had planned to fly, for the most part, most flights on time, and it just didn't happen that way. For airlines, the upheaval of the pandemic is heading into a new phase, unlike in early 2020 when terrified passengers canceled trips in droves. Mm-mm-mm. But airlines are still rebuilding their operations. The twin challenges of rising numbers of employees calling out after being um, infected, and a series of severe winter storms that hit major hubs like Seattle to Chicago to DC created the perfect travel chaos. It became clear that a problem was brewing early in the week of Christmas. Thanksgiving went off without a hitch. Boy, what a difference a week make, right? we had two things going for us. We didn't have, they didn't have a lot of Oh My Crayon, and they didn't have winter storms during, over most of the country at that particular time. The trouble spiraled as more workers became infected. I was getting notices that entire crews were sick. Mm-mm-mm. And some of these crews got sick when they were out of the country, because you remember it was a lot of international flights going on, and some of the crews did not feel sick until they were overseas. Mm-mm-mm. And of course, they did not have any other replacement crews, and they said it was hard getting replacements because even their backup crews were sick. Oh man, woo! Oh man, woo! Everybody's sick, right? Mm-mm-mm. Delta said the first flag for potential disruption. You know, they also consulted with a health officer and medical advisor, and they're trying to look for ways to prevent this from happening again. But how the hell do you do that when you don't have any control over this whole pandemic thing? You just don't. So, airlines have been under pressure from both travelers and lawmakers to deliver a smooth holiday season after meltdowns last summer and fall. Carriers including Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, at times struggled to maintain the buffer needed to quickly recover from storms and other disruptions, resulting in thousands of canceled flights. Delta and United were among the airlines facing the toughest problems in recent weeks, but almost no airline emerged completely unscathed. Mm-mm-mm. So, airlines aren't alone in facing shortfalls. Of course, they're not. As this thing is impacting workforces everywhere. I mean, look, we're talking about the schools, and in fact, when I woke up this morning, I was looking online and I saw even more businesses that are going remote because too many people in the office is sick. So they're saying public transit services in New York and other cities have been disrupted as well. Retailers, bars, and restaurants have had to temporarily close or curtail hours. That's true. School closures are at their highest point in the academic year as teachers call in sick. Travelers could be affected by short staffing in other ways. The Transportation Security Administration is consolidating security checkpoints at one of the terminals at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport because of the impact of staffing levels. Passengers without pre check could wait up to 30 minutes. This is according to the TSA. So if you are traveling, just expect disruptions and delays and canceled flights, because just because we're past the holiday, it does not mean this will be going away anytime soon. So they're already anticipating problems all through January, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be an interesting year. I just have a feeling 2022 is going to be even more of a wilder ride than 2021. Woo, man. Well, I tell you what, this is what judgment looks like. You know, it's a lot to be said when 2021, 2020 were looking bad. And now look at how you're heading into 2022. You know what the funny part is? I was listening to one of these politicians. Oh no, lockdowns are out of the question. I said, I guess they don't look at what's going on online with all these places and schools and everything closing down. Honey, I'm going to say this again. You are on a lockdown. You don't have to officially announce it. When you see thousands and thousands of businesses all around the country and schools and everything closing and people cutting their work hours and businesses are not open every day or they're like working half days, you're already locked down. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.